And welcome back. Well, Medicare can be complicated with a language all of its own. If all the letters and the terms confuse you, we've got some help from people who speak Medicare. Joining us now are Nikki Johnson and Chris Fuel with FHK Insurance. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Good morning. So happy to be here for another Medicare Monday.
I know. Thank you for joining me. It's so interesting because I think it's so true that Medicare can be confusing, right? And I think so much goes into finding the right plan. So let's talk about it. What do you guys want to start with?
Nikki and I were talking and thought it would be a good idea to recap the four main situations that we run into. So the first is individuals who are already on Medicare and what they need to know. The second is going to be people who are new to Medicare and the necessary steps to sign up. Next one is drug plans, whether you're new or already on Medicare. And then lastly, the difference between purchasing your insurance directly through the insurance company versus working with an agency like FHK.
Perfect. I think someone sees themselves in one of those bullet points or more, right? So let's start. If somebody is already on Medicare, what do they need to know?
The main thing is that Medicare plans are always changing. So you should really be reviewing your insurance every year. Medications, doctors, even your location may change, which actually brings me to another important point, COVID aside, but travel. Some plans might cover you wonderfully here in the area, but then you might find if you go out of state or to a different town, your coverage isn't so great. So it's really important to check, and FHK can help with that.
That's super helpful because I think a lot of people don't think about that, but you're right, can be very important if you're traveling or you're maybe visiting family or something in a different area. How about if you're new to Medicare?
Yeah, we receive calls daily from people that are turning 65 and just starting their Medicare journey. And in addition to that, we also have people that call that are over 65, but they are getting ready for that milestone of retirement. So it's a really neat time when that happens because you have lots of options. People don't know that when you are over 65 and getting ready to retire, you don't necessarily have to stay with the employer sponsored plan. You have choices, which is great. After my February segment on the blend, I received a call from a viewer that was 65 and continuing to work, and they just had some questions about their plan benefits. So upon further review, I noticed the plan premium was increasing, the deductible and out-of-pocket maximum was increasing. So it made sense for this viewer to hop off the employer plan and go into Medicare. So now they have a plan that offers tons of extra benefits and they get to take home more money on their paycheck each month, which is awesome while working.
Absolutely. And that's the thing, that extra money in their pocket is fantastic. You think about that. Most people, I think these days, do continue to work after they're 65, and those costs of the health insurance and such can continue to go up. So that's super important and very helpful. Nikki, what about when somebody is interested in learning more about drug plans? Because that can be very important as we age.
Definitely. So when you are looking at your prescription plans and you're on Medicare, there's two ways that you can have those medications covered. The first way is a standalone prescription plan, also known as Part D. And this type of plan will just offer coverage for prescriptions. So it's typically coupled with a Medicare supplement. The alternative is a Medicare Advantage plan. And a Medicare Advantage plan includes coverage for your doctor visits, hospital stays, most importantly, prescription coverage and some of those extras. When you are looking at your prescription coverage, you really want to look at how that plan formulary or list of covered drugs is going to cover your prescription. Medications are always changing from year to year, and the cost associated with that is changing as well. So if you have a few generic prescriptions, maybe blood pressure, cholesterol meds, that's not really something that you want to be too concerned about, as those have lower out-of-pocket costs. But when you're looking at those inhalers or insulin, that's when you really want to focus on that formulary and how those prescriptions are covered.
That's a great distinction between types of medications too. And I think obviously you need to talk to somebody, right? Like yourself. I think that's so important. And Chris, last time you were on, I thought you made a really good distinction between buying your healthcare, your Medicare from an insurance company versus an insurance agency like FHK. So for people who missed that, what are some of the takeaways that people should be aware of?
Sure. So the most important thing with that is if you call an insurance company, they're only going to be able to tell you about the plans they offer. And at FHK, we work with all the major companies, and therefore we can provide you with a comparison of multiple options and usually find a more suitable plan, not just from a cost standpoint, but also from a coverage standpoint. And then additionally, if you call an insurance company, typically you're going to get those generic recorded messages, or even worse, one day you talk to a person in one department, the next day you talk to someone in a different department. If you call FHK during regular business hours, you're always going to get a person and you get consistency, which I think is huge for a lot of people because you're not going to get all these different answers or different people. And then lastly, like when you talk to an advisor like Nikki or myself, we become your point person if you're our client. So whether you've got a question about enrolling into Medicare or reviewing the different changes that might have happened, coverage, medical bills, things like that, we've got you covered. And the best of all is that the price is the same. Whether you purchase it through us or you purchase it directly through the insurance company, it's going to cost you the same, but we do all the work.
I think
And
that's
in
great.
addition
And
to
people
those
want to
great
know their
benefits,
person.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, very much.
Yeah. And
knowing
Nikki,
people is, oh, sorry.
that's okay. For you guys too, I want you to talk about that as well, but I also want to make sure that you talk about your meetings that you have because people like to learn from you guys.
Yeah, that was my other thing. In addition to all those great benefits that Chris just mentioned, I will hold Medicare 101 seminars throughout the year. And this is just a really cool way to learn a little bit more about Medicare. So I check in on the basic parts of Medicare, how Medicare works, plans that are available to you, and it's free, no obligation, just a great place to get some background education on Medicare. And we make Medicare easy and fun.
Well, that's hard to do and you do it well. So really good to see you girls.
Well,
So
thank
nice to
you.
see you.
We're really excited to be here, and definitely check out our website, fhkinsurance.com, for some of those upcoming Medicare Monday, Medicare 101 sessions. Just another way that we provide peace of mind.
Love it. Thanks so much, you guys. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Good to see you too.
And to contact Chris and Nikki or any of the other qualified agents at FHK Insurance, you can call them. It's 414-228-7555. You already know their faces. There's no cost. There's no obligation. If you want to learn more, just visit their website. It's fhkinsurance.com.